So we want to look at local storage. I'll create a file for that. I will just say ls.js. Oh, sorry, not HTML. Local storage. Let's discuss what local storage is and how we can make use of it. Local storage allows you to store information on your browser. You can store information on your browser using local storage. So, look at this. Let's come here. This is my browser. There is a place on the browser that is known as local storage. In order to see it, go to your console where you have your console. You have elements, console, sources, networks, and the like. There's another thing here called application. Click on this. Please, can we see application? Are you with me? Please, can we hear me? How am I disconnected? Hello?
I think from my end is the network, but I cannot see your screen very well.
Okay.
So you are recording it already now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So here I'm trying to explain local storage. There's a place here called local storage. Under application, can we see application here? Yes, can we see application? You are welcome, Abalala. Hello?
Yes.
So
Yes.
So this is where it is. You come here under application. You click on it. Under this place, you see local storage. So this is where your local storage, whatever is stored in local storage, this is where it will be stored in. You are welcome to class, Emmanuel. So this is where it will be stored in. Whatever you store in your local storage, it comes here. Right. So let's store some things there. What you store in the local storage will always be there until you clear it, until it is cleared. And it is stored on your browser, on the user's browser. Now, meaning that if I store a data on this browser and I visit that same website with another browser, my information will no longer be, like, I can't retrieve whatever I store on this browser on another browser. I can't make it. Whatever I store on this browser's local storage can only be retrieved on this browser, not on another browser. And it's while you can use it to store data persistently, it is not so recommended because, of course, it's just for that browser alone. Right. At the moment, because we do not have database, we are here to do backend, so our database, or we're here to connect this to database or anything. So you can use this temporarily for the sake of this class to store data on your browser. But in reality, you only use local storage sparingly, maybe just for little stuff, just for little things. Most of your whenever you want to store data, you store that in your database. But because we don't have database yet, that is why we can say, okay, let's keep our data here. And again, the data is just on this browser. Please keep that in mind. If I visit this website on another browser, it's not going to see whatever data I have in my local storage. So let's store data in the local storage. To store data in local storage, JavaScript has given us an object. They also named it local storage in order to interact with this local storage here. Right. There's an object in JavaScript called local storage that allows us to interact with the local storage on the browser. So if I want to keep items there, let's say I want to store a value there, I can say local storage dot. I can store whatever I want. Let's say I want to store my name, or let's store number. Let's start with this number equals to 5. That means what this line is going to do is that once I run this code on the browser, I'm saying that go to the local storage, create a property on it called number, and let the value be 5. Do you understand this line? Hello everyone. Do you understand this line?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So now if I go to the browser now and I refresh, I'm not going to see it. You can tell me why. Normally the line is to store it in local storage, but if I refresh on the browser, I can't see this num in the local storage. You can tell me why. What do you think is the reason?
There's no property code num in the local storage object.
No. This is to create it. That is, go and create it for us. Create a property on it called num and let the value be 5. Thanks for the try. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. The problem is that the fact that it's written in my code does not mean it will automatically be stored. I need to first run this file called ls.html on the browser. If this file is not executed on the browser, it will not run the line. Do we get it? The fact that it's in my code does not mean that it's automatic. Look at this page on the browser. This page is loop.html. I'm here to run this line called ls.html. It is this line ls.html that goes to the browser. That is, whenever you run it and it reads it to this line, that is when it goes to the browser to create a property on it called num, and the value will be 5. Do we get it? So let's run this ls. Now if you executed it, that's why you cannot have num equals to 5. Now it has stored it there, right? Even if I now leave this page, it will always be there. I don't even need to run that file again. It will always be here. Do we get the explanation? Even if I'm no longer on that page now, the value has already been stored on my browser and it will always be there. Any questions so far? Please, I want us to interact.
No question, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Whenever I ask like that, please, I want us to talk. I want an interactive session. Next is this. Once you've stored a value in your local storage, you can now go to another page to retrieve the value. You can also retrieve it on this same page or on any other page, right? So I can go to create a new file. I can just call it show.html. For my script stack. So in order to display the value, I can say let's use alert. Alert, that is num, right? Say local storage dot num. That is, go to local storage and get num for us and alert the result. Go to local storage, get num for us and alert it. So again, it's not going to display it until we go to show.num. So show.html. So that's why we have this. Let's see how we can store some other values in our local storage. So with this now, you can store value with one page, and another page can go there and retrieve it on the browser once it's on that same browser. Aside numbers, you can store text. Let's do another thing. Let's say, local storage dot name equals to type. Once I run this ls.html, it will store name on it. So let's open two tabs to undo that. I'll just copy, paste, change this to ls. Before we execute this, I will open my displays. Taye equals to no. Taye name equals to Taye, num equals to 5. Sorry, name equals to Taye, num equals to 5. Right. So it will you store detail. You can now go to any page just like before and retrieve it. You can alert it. You can do whatever you want. This will show num. If I want to see name, I can say name like this. And once I go to show, you will see this. Let's proceed. Now, instead of saying localstorage.num equals to 5 and localstorage.name equals to 30, there's another way to do it. Let's look at it another way. I can say that, remember I said JavaScript has given us an object called local storage to interact with our local storage. So I can say local storage dot get item. The object has a property on it called get item in order to get something from my local storage. But in order to save something in local storage, there is a method called set item. I come again. If you are retrieving, you use get item. If you are keeping something there, you use set item. So instead of saying localstorage.num equals to 5, I can come here and say localstorage.num like this. The first argument of set item will be num, but it must be in code like this. It must be a string. Then the value will be whatever you want to store there. So you see this line 13 and this line 11, they are doing the same thing. If I let me put them underneath each other, these two lines, they are doing the same thing. What the two of them will do is that create a property on local storage called num and let the value be 5. Any question?
Understood, sir.
Now, but the advantage of this second approach is that this name can have space. Remember our dot notation. Your dot notation cannot have space in objects, under objects. So this will not work, right? This will not work. So this can have space. And in fact, I would like us to stick to this. Not even because of space. This is the standard. Not even because you want to use something that has space. Even if you are not, which I won't even advise you do. But then, this is the standard. So using this set item. So these two lines, they do the same thing. This also will be like this. So now I can remove these two. This is local storage for you, local storage for you, local storage for you. Num, name, num, number of persons are coming. Okay, let's refresh this. So, I wasn't expecting it to to rewrite this. I wasn't expecting it to. Okay. Now let's talk about we getting it. Whenever you want to get it, you use get item. So local storage does get item. What do you want to get? If I want to get the name, I'll do it like this. Again, in quotes, like this. So when you get there, it will get value for you. You can save it in a variable. You can say let's name equals to local storage dot get item name console log name name. Tell you like this. Now I want to even do something. I'm coming. Applications. This is repeating num and num here. Let's change the value of num to something else. I want to test something because sorry, I wasn't expecting it to repeat it at all. Okay, 15, 5. Okay, good. Now next will be that I'll come here and say get num for me. So will it give us 15 or 5? That's what I just want to confirm because I wasn't expecting it to. I expect the last one to override the former one. So this behavior is somehow to me. It's giving us 15. So that means it ought to, this shouldn't be there, right? This is not doing anything here. It's not doing anything. Okay, but hope you get the explanation I've made so far.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Ahmed, Sharifat.
Yes, I get it.
Alright. Emmanuel. I think it was Emmanuel's voice I heard the first time. I think so. Okay, let's move on. But what if I want to store things in local storage other than these two? Let's first look at the problem before we move forward. You see this here? Whenever you store items in local storage converts it to a string. Now here we are storing a number here, right? But when it gets to local storage converts the number to a string, and we're going to see the problem this will give us later. Let's get this num and let's display it. We are getting num here. Let's save it as variable num. Then let's display the num here, and this looks fine. We are getting 15 here. It seems everything is working fine. But let's check the data type of this value. Let's say type of num. Display the type of num. Type of num. No, it's a string. It's not a number. Before anything gets stored in your local storage, it's being converted to a string before it saves it. So if you try to, the problem will be that if you try to do something like this, num plus let's say 3, it's going to concatenate them together. Right? You have 153. So we should be normally should be 18. If this 15 were to be a number, it should have been 18, not 153. Right? That's one problem you have, but that's not even the height of our problem. Let's move on. But keep in mind that whatever you get stored in, whatever you want to store in local storage, it converts it to a string before storing it. Let's now assume that I'm not storing a number. Now I want to store an array. Local storage dot set item names. And I want to store an array of names. Let's say Sharifat. Nestle, Ahmed. I have these 3 names. This will store them in local storage. But again, remember, local storage will convert this to a string before storing it. So when you get to your local storage, this is it. Let's clear the local storage. Let's clear everything and refresh the page. So that we have this Sharifat K3 Ahmed. Again, it is not an array. This is a string. This is a string. Let's retrieve it from local storage now. We come here we can say let students equals to local storage dot get item. What do they call it here? Names. Now console log names. Sorry, students. Console log students. Now when you check it in the console, here we have this. The square braces has been removed. That's one problem. Then if you say index 0, normally if it were to be an array, index 0 should give you Sherifat, but now it's giving you S. If you say index 1, it will be E because it is a string. Do we get the problem? Hello everyone, are you still with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Alright, thank you so much. Thank you, man. Now, next is this. How then do we manage this? In fact, array is not even the biggest of the issue with this, right? I think to me, the biggest of this issue is object. When you're trying to store objects in your local storage, that's even worse than array. That is worse than array. If you are trying to store objects in your local storage, let's say obj, not just store a simple object. Name is this simple object. Now you can't even see it. It's telling me object. If you've tried to alert an object, this is what you also get. If you try to, I don't know if you've maybe while working you've tried to alert an object. This is also you also get object. What happens is that JavaScript finds it difficult to convert an object to a string, or to force an object to a string. It has that problem. So it's unable to, whenever you try to convert an object to a string, you just see object like this, and that's the problem. So how do we now handle this situation? First is this. Remember I said local storage converts whatever it wants to store to a string before storing. So what happens is that we will convert it to a string before giving it to local storage to store. And if it's already a string, local storage now will no longer convert it to a string. I come again. We will convert it to a string before giving it to local storage to to store. If it's already in a string, then local storage will no longer convert it to a string. And that's what you're going to do. So this part now, before giving it in local storage or storing it in local storage, we convert it to a string. How then do we convert this to a string? That brings us to JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. JavaScript Object Notation is common in a lot of languages now, programming languages. It's a common data structure in a lot of programming languages. What it does is that it converts what's it called? It's a data structure that keeps whatever is in JSON, it keeps it in structure of JavaScript object. It keeps it in the structure of JavaScript object. From its name, JavaScript Object Notation, it will just be in the structure of JavaScript objects. Now, JavaScript also has given us a method called JSON in order to convert this to JSON and convert things from JSON. Most programming languages have such, so that you find it easy to convert things to JSON or from JSON. It's just a common data structure. Now, JSON and YAML, they are very common these days. JSON, YAML. So JSON, it's you keeping your data to look like JavaScript objects. Now, JavaScript has given us two functions to convert in some JSON and to convert it to JSON. The first of them is JSON.stringify. JSON.stringify. Whatever you put here inside this place will be converted to a string, but that string will be in the structure of JavaScript object. It is not an object, it is a string, but that string will maintain the structure of a JavaScript object. Do you understand? Oh.
I'm getting what you are saying.
Okay, alright, thank you. So JSON.stringify, we convert whatever we put inside it to a string, but it will be in the structure, but it's not an object. It will just be in the structure of an object. So we come here now, we say JSON.stringify, like this. Or better still, let's names equals to cut this one out, put it here, then JSON.stringify names. So before saving it in local storage, we are converting it to a JavaScript objects notation format, right? So now, also let's do the same thing for this one too. JSON.stringify. Now, since it's a string now, it's written JavaScript. Local storage will no longer convert it to a string because it's already a string. Now, can you see this is not an object, this is a string. So also this is not an object, this is a string, just that it's in the structure of JavaScript objects. Let's now retrieve it now. When you get it from local storage, you just get the names. Local storage just get item names. It will get this for us. Let's get the object also. Let's say my object local storage dot get item obj. Let's console log my object. So we are showing the two in the console. So we have these two. Keep in mind they are still strings, just that they take the shape of JavaScript object. They are still strings. This is still a string, this is still a string. Now in order to confirm that it's a string, you can try to check the index 0 of this. Index 0 of this. If it was to be an object, index 0 should be serified. But being a string, index 0 will be the square braces here. I mean incoming console log students index 0. For a string, index 0 is the first character, so you can say the first character here is this. If you say index 1 will be this, which is the second character. So that means it is still a string, right? It is still a string. Index 2 now will be S, index 3 will be E, on and on like that. It is still a string, not an object yet. So how then do we convert it back now to an array or JavaScript object? How do we now do that? In order to do that, we're given another function called pass. JSON.pass. What it does is that whatever is in the form of JSON but is a string, this pass will convert it back to its equivalence in a JavaScript object. I come again. Whatever is in JSON string, this pass is like what an opposite stringify will convert it to a JSON string. Pass will convert it back to JavaScript objects. Now it comes back again now to JavaScript objects. So it's the opposite of stringify. So JSON.pass, it converts it back to JavaScript object. So we're going to say that let's pass this one here. Get it from local storage. That's good. Now the reason I would prefer to pass it here and not here is this. If I pass it here, JSON.pass like this. The student will still be that string, right? It will still be string because of course this part will be JavaScript object, but the student will still be string. And when I say index 1 will still be that string also. Why this is now a JavaScript object? This is still a string, right? So instead, I will choose to pass it here. Immediately I take it from local storage. Let's pass it before we store it in this variable students. So JSON.pass like this. So get it from local storage, pass it immediately, then store it inside students, so that whenever we call on students now, it will be the past one, the one that has already been converted to JavaScript object. If I now say index 1 will now give me Sherifat. Oh, sorry, index 0 will be Sherifat, index 1 will be Kingsley. Yeah. Let's do the same thing for the second one too. So now this one is a JavaScript object too. I can now say that's name, and that will give me Taye. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Do we get it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Assignment. This assignment will be continuation of the last assignment. In the last assignment, where is it? What do you call it? Is it? Yeah, okay. In the last assignment, we were able to add new name. Let's run it so that we understand what I want us to do. Yep. Okay. So let's add new names. Let's say I had a look at you. Let's say you're P, then you click on this. The name has been added. Good, fine, everything is good. But the problem is that when I refresh the page, Okiki has gone. So what I want us to do is this. In fact, when I get to the browser, there will be no name here. Nothing here. Right. So you can just display text, maybe no name yet or something. Now I should be able to add new names. Kingsley, add the department. Add Kingsley has been added. Add another one. Let's say Hamed. Add the department. Another has been added. No, add another one. Let's just share it out. Add the department. So Sharifat has been added. Now when I refresh, or when I leave this page, and I come back tomorrow, I should still see these names. Do you get it now? When I leave the page, that is, if I close this page now, and I come back again, I should still see this page. The initial approach, once I refresh now, my names are gone. All those names are gone. What I want us to do is that when you refresh and you come back again, you should still display the names. Do we get it? Do you understand? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next class we'll do the solution and we'll move to ES6 syntax. Thanks for coming. Good night to us, sir.
Have a wonderful night, sir.
And you too, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mas. Thank you for coming.